What's up everybody, my name's Trey and welcome to another video. Now when it comes to managing your money, I understand that it's not the easiest thing in the world and it becomes a lot more difficult to manage your money when we're actually in a recession. But how I like to think about it, managing your money is kind of like raising a puppy. And I mean, who doesn't like puppies? I mean, puppies are basically the most American thing around. Well, I mean, a close second might be waffles because I absolutely love waffles. I mean, they basically make breakfast by themselves. But the reason why I like to think of puppies and managing your money kind of in the same boat is the fact that if you want your puppy to be raised in the right manner and be extremely strong, you need to make sure that you're feeding your puppy the right types of food. And you need to make sure that you're extremely disciplined with your puppy or else they're just going to be crazy and jumping around everywhere. Now, when that comes to your money, you want to make sure you're nurturing your money, you're guiding your money, and you're extremely disciplined with your money habits. Or else, well, you won't have any money to actually manage. But I understand that in a recession especially, managing your money becomes harder and harder. So try not to stress yourself out too much because I completely got you covered, my friend. In this video, I'll actually be going over how you can better manage your money, especially in a recession. So make sure you're sticking to the end because I have a lot of great information in this video. Now, if you're someone that's new to my channel, I just wanted to say hi. My name's Trey. It's nice to meet you. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified every time I post a video so you can actually see them. I am a small channel, so you're gonna have to do that or YouTube's basically gonna hide my content from you, which kind of sucks. But with that being said, let's jump into that brand new intro, my friends. Managing your money, especially in a recession, is extremely important. And they really boil down to three major things. The first being spend less money, the second being earn more money, and the third, invest like crazy. And if you can really manage to understand these three different avenues of how to manage your money, well, now you're on the boat to financial freedom, my friends. Now, this is obviously harder than it sounds, as I'm sure you can imagine. But just some statistics that I want to throw out there are the fact that almost 70% of the entire American population live paycheck to paycheck. Majority of people don't have $500 in a savings account. And most people, if they had any type of emergency that would cost over $2,000, they would have to file for bankruptcy. So as you can see, these statistics are not very good. And I basically made this video to make sure you're not part of the statistic and make sure your financial pictures are thriving. Now, the very first thing that you have to do to make sure your financial situation is in order is understand how you're going to manage your money. Are you going to use spreadsheet? You're going to use different apps. You're going to use an envelope system. You need to just make sure that you have a system in place that you can actually follow and stick to. Because if you have no savings during an economic boom, I mean, sure, you might lose out on some really great investments. But if you have no savings during an economic crisis, well, you're many times more likely to be in a terrible financial situation. So you really have to make sure that that one simple step is covered before we get into anything else. Now, the first factor that you're going to want to think about when it comes to managing your money is the fact that you need to be saving money. I mean, you want to have a safety net put aside just in case of emergencies. I mean, what if you lose your job or your business begins to slow down? Well, you want to make sure that you have a safety net to go to just to make sure that your expenses are covered and you're not having to take out loans or go into debt just to live your everyday life. Now, I understand this is definitely not the most fun thing in the world, as you might have to not get that extra guac on your burrito, even though guac is delicious, but sometimes you're gonna have to scale back on things that are pretty important to you. but trust me, in the long run, you'll definitely be in a better situation. Now, after you have a good bit of savings set aside, when you hear recession, instead of thinking that you need to tighten up on your finances, I want you to start thinking of investing, because the recession has made more millionaires than any other time in our history. And that's because during a recession, basically the economy goes on sale and you can make investments on pennies on the dollar, which means not only can you become extremely wealthy, but you can also increase your net worth, which is really important. Basically, this is the same thing as your favorite store going on sale. If you saw an 80% off sale, you would definitely rush to that store and buy as much as possible. And well, the economy is essentially just one big store. And recessions are just saying that everything's really cheap. So that's your incentive to go into the economy and buy different types of investments, whether that be in the stock market or in real estate. Now, you want to make sure that you're definitely capitalizing on recessions, as they don't happen often. So you want to make sure when one does happen, you have enough money to be able to actually go out and invest and actually grow your portfolio or your net worth. Now, if we look at the economic crash of 2008, stocks were basically being traded at 50% of their actual value, and houses were being sold at only 20% of what they were originally worth. So if you have a system in place in which you have money set aside that you can use and invest at a moment's notice, there's definitely a lot of opportunity for you to make a ton of money, especially in a recession. Now, if you're someone that's brand new to investing and you really don't know where to begin, you essentially need to make a system for yourself. Basically, this system is going to consist of you putting money aside every single month and investing that money in someplace that'll get you a higher rate of return. So like I said, if you're brand new and you don't know where to start, I actually made a video that you can click by going on the link up here that'll take you to what you should be doing every time you get paid. Basically, that video is going to walk you through how much money you should be saving or how much you should be investing based on how much you actually make every single month. Now, this is really nice because this is basically going to go to everybody, because it's not a certain dollar amount. Instead, it's a certain percentage of your actual money that you should be investing and saving. So I'm pretty sure that it covers all your bases. Well, now that you have a guide to understand how much you should be investing each and every paycheck, where's the best place to put it? I mean, if we look, the stock market is easily the most accessible place to actually invest your money. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best place, nor does it mean it's the safest. Basically, with the stock market, especially if you're investing in individual stocks, there's a lot of potential for you to, well, lose all your money. And that's because during recessions, businesses close all the time. Some file for bankruptcy and they're never to be seen again. So if you're someone that pumps all of your money in individual stocks and that business actually closes its doors, well, you just lost all your money. Now, this is why if you're new to investing, I really don't suggest that you get involved in individual stocks. Instead, you get into something called mutual funds because, well, they're a lot safer. And if you're new to investing, you probably don't know the ins and outs on how to set up options or anything like that. So you want to make sure that you really do your due diligence on what you're investing in and you go with a really reputable company because, I mean, it's your money and you want to make sure you're growing it, not losing it. Now, if you don't know what a mutual fund is, it's basically comprised of multiple stocks from multiple companies all wrapped up in one. This is a really great investment for somebody that's new to investing because it diversifies your portfolio and allows you not to have all your eggs all in one basket. One great way that you can think about a mutual fund is thinking about an omelet. So let's say, for instance, that you have 100 eggs to make a beautiful and delectable omelet. I don't know why I'm on these food references, but I guess we're gonna keep rolling with them. Now, if you serve that to somebody and let's say you accidentally dropped one egg, so now they have an omelet of 99 eggs, there's no way that they're gonna be able to tell the difference because there's just so many eggs in that actual omelet. This compares very well to mutual funds. Essentially, they're comprised of a ton of different companies, and when one stock begins to do bad, the other companies in your portfolio will begin to pick up the slack. Now, I think investing in mutual funds is a great idea for everyone, especially if you're someone that's new to investing. But I really like this option as well if you're someone that doesn't want to take an active role when it comes to managing your portfolio. However, you really want to make sure that you're doing your due diligence and making sure you're doing research on the best companies to invest with and the best portfolios for your given financial situation. Because some portfolios may be really aggressive, others might be really conservative. I mean, you just want to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best situation possible to really appreciate your money. Also, you want to make sure that you're investing with a long-term mindset, and that's because you're not going to become a millionaire overnight by investing in the market unless you're doing day trading, and even then you're going to have a ton of money to actually start with. So you want to make sure that you're investing with the goal to appreciate your money over time so that when you get to the point of retirement or someplace later on in your life, you have a ton of money invested that you can use for whatever you want, because that's really the goal of investing in the stock market, especially if you're using the long-term approach. Now, what if you're someone that doesn't necessarily want to invest into the stock market? I mean, you can start look at investing into real estate. However, there are some major differences between real estate and the stock market. One being, you have to have a lot more capital to actually invest into real estate. I mean, if you look at the price of houses compared to the price of individual stocks, I mean, you're going to see a large discrepancy. So you have to make sure that you actually have the cash on hand to actually enter into this market space. But during a recession, with prices getting lower and lower, there's definitely a lot of opportunity for someone to enter in, buy up some rental properties, and then make a very good passive income from it. Now, we talked about saving money and we talked about investing money, but what about making more money? Well, if this crisis has taught us anything, it's that the internet is literally the future, as tons of companies have switched their physical stores to online e-commerce stores in order to make money. If we look at some extremely successful companies like Netflix, Hulu, and Fashion Nova, all these companies were started during a recession, and they're all e-commerce businesses, which means it would make a lot of sense for you to actually get involved in e-commerce right now. And with that being said, if you learned anything new in this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, as you already see that there's one thumbs up on this video, as I do like my own videos because I just want to get the ball rolling. And if you're somebody that's new to my channel, essentially I make videos on how you can make money online, diversify your income, and I'm going to be going over essential financial news that you just need to know. So if that's something that interests you, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.